What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Q&A. Today I'll be answering your questions, which I'm pretty sure are gonna be all about this particular game. Right? It's gonna be about this game, right? Because it was recently remastered. I'm pretty sure. This is Queen's Blade. I am grinding because this game is ridiculous. And I'm only grinding Lena here. I'm gonna do this while more people join and start asking questions about the remasters of Queen's Blade, of course. That's right. Let's go. So what's up, everybody? I don't see anybody in the chat, so I'm just gonna keep playing this game. All I'm gonna do is play this game while you people join. Oh, there we go. What's up, guys? Alright, we killed one. I'm not grinding these two. I don't want them to steal the experience, so I don't know. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I need my blondie girl with huge tits to kill everybody. Right? So how are you guys? I'm playing the game for the men of culture. That's right. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. While people join. Good game here. It's just stupidly grindy and stupidly hardcore. And then there are these duels, you know, where Lena fights by herself the main boss of a specific stage. And if she doesn't have any items to heal herself, she's fucked. She can't win even if she's over-leveled. I mean, I'm stuck in a battle where I'm supposed to defeat this other boss that's level 9, and she's level 11. And I can't beat her because, you know, I don't have any items. So I'm gonna train to level 12. And once I get to level 12, I'll try not to spend a single item, healing item, so she can be all healed up and all prepared to fight the duel. And the duels are like regular battles. They are like in a certain other game that was recently remastered. What was it called? Oh, that's right, Queen's Blade. This is a PSP game. What's up, guys? I see a lot of people here. Go, go, go and kill everybody. Stop wasting my time. That guy is level 9 and Lena is level 10 here. I was mistaken. Well, I leveled up to level 11 once I was doing the battle, you know. So there we go. Only 1 point of experience. Yeah, some of the games here. That's another problem with this game. Some of the fucking enemies on the free maps are level 2. Like, why? If my character is level 10, why couldn't the developers bother putting fucking enemies that are like level 9 or 10 around my level so I could level up faster? No, instead there's only 1 or 2 guys at level 7 or 9 and all the others are like level 2 and I get 1 EXP. It's bullshit. That's bullshit. Developer, who made this fucking game? There we go, now they're all going to attack me. I'm gonna murder the fuck out of everybody. She has, she doesn't have a lot of AP though. That'll get him. What's up, guys? Your kids are starting to get into RPGs. You don't want them to get frustrated, so you suggested Secret of Mana and Mario RPG. Those are great suggestions. I don't know how hard is Secret of Mana because I never beat it. But Super Mario RPG is pretty balanced. The remake is easier. The remake on the Switch is easier. You know, I suggest the remake, but if you want them to play the original Super Nintendo, that's great, man. That's fantastic. Those are good suggestions for beginners and for kids. Why don't you play Demi Kids? You know Demi Kids, right? On the Game Boy Advance? The games where there are a bunch of kids, capture demons, and they train them a la Pokemon, you know? And then, for some reason, you are on your way to meet Lord Lucifer. Because that's a game for kids, right? That's right. You can start asking your questions, I don't mind. I can read the chat. Don't worry. But, I'm gonna skip the animations to go faster. Oh, he's not dead yet? Level up, finally! Oh, look at that booty. That armor looks very uncomfortable, doesn't it? Look at all of those belts. Does she need all of those belts? Why is she wearing all of those belts? Why? And that metal, that's an iron thing. That's steel armor, probably. And it's holding her breasts? That must hurt like hell. Poor girl, man. Who's making her wear that? No, I don't know, maybe she's a masochist. Fuck those guys. We need to get rid of this guy. Wait. She'll live. I don't need to waste any item whatsoever. There, one hit and the guy will die. That's all I fucking need. I don't need to overkill the guy. I get the same EXP. Imagine if in this game you could get more experience by overkilling the enemies. Why? Why doesn't that happen? Yeah, sure. He's dead. So he's the level 9 enemy. How much EXP is he gonna give me? A whopping 10 EXP. That's how brutal and grindy this fucking game is. Yeah. Incredible fucking game, right? Also a nice starting point. Of course. Yeah, remember to hit the like button, everybody. Alright. Did you get Suikoden? I don't know what that is, man. Sounds like some kind of new dessert. Japanese dessert. Is it one of those rice balls that have like chocolate in the middle? That's a Suikoden sounds like it's kind of like that, actually. You know? Is it? Probably, right? I mean, I don't know much about Japanese desserts. You know, I'm Mexican. What do you expect? Why is this guy still alive? Oh, because he's level 7 and he's giving me 2 points of experience. 2 EXP. Phenomenal. You know I just praise this game, you know, because it's good. I swear it is. It is good, you know, it's just extremely fucking grindy. You spend hours and hours grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding until you get... Fortunately, this is one of those games where whenever a character reaches 100 EXP, it doesn't matter their level, they level up. Which is great, you know, that's what you want. Imagine if you needed now 120 or 150 and then 200 and then 300 and all I get is 4 EXP, it will take me forever to level up. That's right. Oh, and you get to add more points, you know. We need more defense. All defense. I'm pretty powerful already. And that's it. There, you just saved the game. Can't even see a damn thing. Fucking translations. This is a fan-translated game, by the way. And that's it. We can start your questionnaire and officially start the goddamn Q&A of today. Long-time fan from back in the day, Retro Island boy. That's great, man. What do you mean back in the day? Like 2 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago? Because that will be back in the day. Back in the day will be like 10 years ago when I did those fucking slideshows that went viral. You know, or back in the day when I was doing reviews in Spanish. That's fucking crazy. If you've been watching since back then, oh my god. Is Suwai Koden HD worth getting? We were just talking about that. It's some kind of like new Japanese dessert, right? Like with fucking chocolate in the middle. Is that the one? I think it is, you know. What time did you start this stream? 10 minutes ago? Can't you tell? It says in the bottom, you know, started streaming 10 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago. What kind of question is that, man? Back when I saw Eric post in Tale Series group. Oh yeah, ooh, remember that? That was like in 2017? Where I was posting my videos in a lot of JRPG groups on Facebook.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Any interest in Suwai Coding Starlip? Is that like the other dessert? Or is that, wait, is that a Chinese food? I think it's a Chinese dish, right? I don't think it's Japanese. I mean, Suwai Coding? Never heard of it. Sweet Codeine. Oh, okay. Because it's sweet, right? Because it has chocolate in the middle, right? Your videos exploded on my feed during the early 2019 when I got hooked again on video games. Oh, that's interesting. Oh wow, it was 10 years ago or more because I was looking for PS2 and PS3 RPG collection videos and I came across your channel. So you probably watched my top 10 PS2 RPGs no commentary video. Wow. That's crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Eric was still woke in 2019. I've never been woke. Thoughts on both of your channels? Eric Lennon RPG and Discussion Gamer. What are you talking about? I have 3 channels, man. 3! Not 2. 3! Stop pretending my second channel doesn't exist. Well, Discussion Gamer, I can talk about that all day long, you know. Because it's between me and my friend Oscar. Eric London RPG is me, and I've answered questions about my channel for many years. So it's kind of like, what are my thoughts on my channel? What can I say that I haven't already said a million times? Oh, there's always something going on, you know, that lasts for a long time. But Discussion Gamer, you know, what can I say? We started the channel. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is what most people clicked on this Q&A for, you know. I think they want me to talk about Suai Codeine or something. I don't know what that is, but I think that's why most people clicked on today's stream. But instead, I'm gonna talk about my channel in Spanish. That's right. Link to my channel in Spanish in the description. So we founded that channel in June of 2017. Me and my buddy Oscar. I told him after I came back from England, I was living in England before, and then I came back to Mexico and I told him, you know what, I want to start a YouTube channel with you because I think you and I are like super fucking different, you know, because you don't like RPGs and I love them. I don't know. Back then I didn't quite like shoot 'em ups or racing games, you know, and he loved them. And we also knew a crap ton of like hidden gems and obscure fucking games from all genres. We also knew a lot about collecting, you know. We wanted to do Let's Play videos a la James and Mike Mondays. That didn't last very long, you know. We only did that for like a few months. Yeah, so and we had this chemistry together, you know, because our personalities are like polar opposites. So we were like, I was like, you know, it's gonna work, and lo and behold, it worked. That's the story. Get ready because I'm gonna spend this is gonna be the rest of the stream. At least like 1 hour of the stream, me telling the story of Discussion Gamer. Because I know that's for a fact, I know that's what most people want to hear today. I know some people, maybe just 2 or 3 guys want to ask me about JRPGs and shit, you know, but no, the majority of you guys want to see me talking about Discusión Gamer, my channel in Spanish with my friend Oscar. That's what you're here for. Have you gotten into real heated arguments with other people over JRPGs? No. I mean, maybe on the internet when I used to read the comments. Back when I read the comments in my videos, I kind of did, but only once. I was the kind of guy that was, you know, there was always these jackasses, you know, getting offended by everything, you know. Since 2017, 2018, or since my slideshows, my videos from, my top 10s from 2014, you know, making some really shitty comments. And back then I couldn't resist. I was like, no. I'm replying to this, you fucking piece of shit. So I replied them, and I'm pretty good at pissing people off, as you may have noticed. So I pissed them off, and they replied super pissed off and took it very personal, you know. And oh my god, that's when I started saying, dude, this is not an argument. This is not a discussion. This is a fucking fight, a battle with some fucking nobody. I mean, you guys can see my face. I'm the guy who's replying to your comment, but I don't know who I'm talking to. And nowadays, you know, I could as well be talking to a fucking AI or a robot. So back in 2019, I gave up. I was like, fuck these people, man. You can't reason with these fucking people. They're all like, no, my game is the fucking best and you're a fucking imbecile. You know nothing about this game. You suck, you're a loser, blah, 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 blah. These fucking monologues, man. And I was like, you know, I have better things to do with my time than having an argument with someone like that. And I just described like 80% of the internet. That's why I gave up. But you mean like in person, having an argument in person or a heated debate with someone about JRPGs in person? I don't think so. I don't like it when things get heated. Like, what's the point? You know, I think it's just better to have an argument but not heated. Even if it gets intense, that's fine. As long as we still find a common ground or respect each other's opinion or something, you know. But when it's heated and people start insulting each other over a fucking video game, I think that's pathetic, man. Thanks a bunch for the super chat, man. Okay, fine. You paid money for it. You paid money for it. So I'm gonna stop pretending Suai Cow Dane is a rice ball with chocolate in the middle. Fine. What are my thoughts on the reviews of Suikoden 1 and 2 Remastered? And if good sales of this game will cause Konami to make a Suikoden 6 or remaster the rest of the series. Love your content, great work, sir. First and foremost, I did not get the Suikoden remasters. I haven't played them, but I have made a lot of research because I've been carefully watching. I mean, the games have been out, as of the recording of this clip, the games have been out for a few days only. And I've been looking at almost every day, like twice a day, trying to find if the translation is politicized or altered, or if there's any censorship. And all I've been able to find is that there's some dumb censorship, mostly coming from Japan, for Japanese audiences. Like, for example, the fight with a specific character called Necklord. I'm not gonna spoil anything, don't worry, but he has this attack that bites your character, so there's some blood involved, you know? So that blood was censored for these remasters. It was turned into black blood for some reason. I'm pretty sure Konami did that to avoid offending the snowflake Japanese players, because apparently blood offends them. Because I'm pretty sure in the West nobody gives shit. In the West they all care about, you know, nipples, girls in thongs, and religious themes, and also about genders and all that jazz, you know, and races and shit. But blood and hardcore gore? No, that's fine. Even kids can watch that, you know, here in the West. But in Japan, no. Everything goes except for blood. Other censorship that I found is that there's this symbol. There's some religious imagery that was actually kind of censored in the originals, and now it's even more censored. But apart from that, I haven't read anything, you know. Again, take this with a grain of salt. I haven't played the remasters. I've seen gameplay footage, you know, and I have read some things in the forums. It's kind of hard to find accurate information on forums because all they do in forums is fight. There's always this one guy saying, you know, oh, so are the remasters woke? And ooh, all of these fucking people and bots and AI, robots, fake accounts show up to argue, you know, to say, what? No, you're always bitching, oh, here comes the anti-woke brigade and blah, 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 and dude, it's like pages and pages and pages of people fighting about that. But I had to read through most of that to find that one comment that said, you know what, the blood is censored. Oh, thanks, that one guy. While the rest of the internet can keep fighting about wokeness and shit, you know, I was like, okay, you know where I stand, right? But I don't give a fuck about that. I want to give a fuck about the censorship. If the remasters are censorship, and if they aren't politicized, if they don't have an Ayuden Chronicle level of fucking translation, then maybe I'll buy them. And maybe I'll review them, you know? Those are my plans, but as for now, I haven't bought them because I need to make 100% sure, I need to be 100% sure there's no political bullshit, okay? Another thing that I noticed is that this is gonna be stupid for a lot of you, and you know what, it kinda is. But I noticed that Luca Blight, the dialogue he has at the beginning of Suikoden 2, the Die Pig dialogue, I thought for sure, and so did everybody, that it was going to be censored. Thankfully it wasn't, you know. Luca Blight still humiliates a woman, you know, and calls her Die Pig and kills her. I'm not spoiling anything, this happens during the first 20 minutes of the game. Okay, it's legendary, everybody knows about this scene. It wasn't censored, it wasn't altered. I'm shocked. However, in the original game, Luca Blight says, Die Pig. But in the remaster, he now says, Die You Pig. I don't know what to think about that. I know this music right now is kind of fucking weird. It's from Octopath Traveler 2. Anyway, so I don't know what to think about. I don't think it changes the context, but I think it's different if you call someone a pig. If you say, fuck you, pig, you know, instead of saying, fuck you, you pig. I think it's a bit different, but I don't know why they did that. But what I've been reading, I don't know if this is misinformation. Again, take this with a grain of salt. It's probably misinformation, but I don't know. But the developers and some reviewers and journalists, you know, everybody trusts journalists nowadays, because we do. Of course we do. Right? They say that the translation is now more faithful to the original Japanese script. I don't know if that's true because I don't know Japanese and I can't prove that. But apparently it is what it is, right? That's what they're saying. All these developers, all of these reviewers, and also the Hide journalists. That's what they're saying. So I don't trust those guys. And I don't even trust the developers because I don't trust Konami. I stopped trusting Konami as a company like 20 years ago, you know? So I can't vouch for it. I know a lot of you were expecting me to come here and say, hey, guess what, people? The Suikoden remasters aren't wokenized, aren't politicized, aren't censored, so go and play them. I recommend it. Sorry to disappoint, I haven't played them, and I don't know if they're politicized or not. I know there's a lot of fans out there who are on my side of the things. We're on the same page, you know, and they're always looking for that. But I haven't read anything, and I've browsed through several forums, GameFAQs, Steam, you know, and there doesn't seem to be any political altered translation on the remasters. But then again, the games have only been out for a couple of days, so we don't know that yet. Either I like to think that it's either one of these. Either the remasters, the translations weren't politicized, or Konami paid Google and search engines to avoid showing people saying that they are actually politicized. I have no idea. But if I ever make sure 100% that there's no political bullshit in the remasters, then I'll buy them, I'll play them, and you bet your ass I'll probably review them, okay? And maybe recommend them, because the original games are excellent. Even the originals had a shitty translation, but it wasn't politicized. But it was bad, it was a bad translation, especially Suikoden 2. I made a video called 10 Things You Didn't Know About Suikoden 2, and you can watch it, and you'll learn why the translation was the way it was back in the day in 1999 when the game came out. Okay, so there's a story behind that, but it's a long story. And but it wasn't politicized. The translation wasn't politicized, so I don't trust developers and publishers nowadays. So I don't know yet. Now, the other questions. What do I think about the reviews? I don't read reviews anymore. Okay, I've actually never read reviews. I don't give a shit about reviews because they're all a bunch of fucking cowards. Nobody has the balls to address certain issues of modern gaming. Nobody, except like very few websites and very few people, you know, and they're usually shadow banned like me, you know, so it's kind of hard to trust them now. Whether they're a journalist or a simple reviewer like me, you know, I don't trust them and I don't watch them, so I don't have an opinion on the reviews of the remasters. If they sell well, do I think it's gonna help Konami into developing Suikoden 6? Maybe, but I don't give a fuck about Konami, so I don't want Konami to develop Suikoden 6, because I fucking hate them, you know? And what do I think about the mobile game? It's fucking stupid. Why is it for mobile phones? Why is it called Star Leap? Okay, why? Maybe because they're testing the waters. Because, okay, you know what? We know I'm Konami. So we know that people want Suikoden 6, but we don't know how the remasters are gonna do. So how about we release the remasters first and see what happens, and then we will release this game for phones, because, you know, everybody in the West is into mobile gaming. Hell, everybody in Japan, everybody in the entire world is into mobile gaming. So why the fuck should I bother creating a game for consoles? Fuck that. I'm gonna do a free-to-play gacha Suikoden game, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna get a lot of fans excited. Cause I'm fucking Konami and I'm super fucking intelligent. Well, okay, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's not gonna be gacha, maybe it's not gonna be free-to-play, and maybe at some point it will come to consoles, because I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but it looks like a game that could be very well on the PlayStation 5, no problem. Hopefully it will come to consoles, hopefully it won't be politicized, hopefully it won't be a gacha free-to-play game, but I do want to say something that it's kind of weird. Have you seen the trailer? It looks like very ironically, it looks like an Eiyuden Chronicle ripoff. The graphics look exactly the same. It's like they are using the exact same graphic engine and artists. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, Eiyuden Chronicle is a spiritual successor to Suikoden. Now these guys are doing an actual Suikoden game, but that looks like Eiyuden Chronicle. Those are my thoughts on the Suikoden remasters and Suikoden Star Leap. Anything else? Am I excited? No. When the hell have you seen me getting excited for a phone game? If it comes to consoles, maybe I'll be interested, as long as it isn't politicized, you know, or altered, or a game for modern audiences, which they do exist, you know. Let's stop pretending that it's only the 0.001%. No, it's like fucking 80%. Sadly, that's the reality, okay? Sadly. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. That's my opinion. No, Ryan, those are my thoughts. Chocolate rice dessert included. It probably isn't chocolate in the middle, you know, it's probably a rainbow. All colors in the middle. Wishbone says Odessa is going to be the protagonist, he will be woke. You know what, there's a hack of Suikoden 2 that I would like to try one day, where Odessa is actually the main character. I mean, it isn't a sprite swap, where now Tyr is Odessa, no. I mean, Odessa is her usual self. Odessa is still Odessa Silverberg in the game, but now she You know what I mean, right? I don't want to spoil the game, but she's there the entire game. Let's leave it at that. I'd like to try that. That would have been cool. Mystery Kid, thanks a bunch, man. Me and many others are more excited for what China and Korea are making than Japan, unfortunately. Okay. That's right, Capcom killed Breath of Fire 6. It was terrible. Hey, but at least... Hey, I'm not gonna defend Konami here, fuck them, but at least this Suikoden Leap whatever looks good. Breath of Fire 6 looked bad since the trailers. When it was announced, it was like, what the fuck is this, Capcom? And how dare you call it Breath of Fire 6? At least Konami had the decency to not call it Suikoden 6. You know, but Capcom, it was like, no, it's official. This is the 6th entry in the series. That was a colossal fuck up, you know. At least Konami is what were a little bit smarter and said, we're not gonna make the same mistake. We're just gonna say this is a spin-off. Yeah, another spin-off. Hey guys, what did we do last time? Oh, a spin-off on the PSP. Oh, great. And before that, a spin-off on the Nintendo DS. It's nothing but spin-offs. It's just like Valkyrie Anatomia the Origin. Another game I don't care about. Don't you mean video game urinalists, not journalists? That's exactly what I meant. Are you interested in the upcoming JRPG Expedition 33? First and foremost, it's not a JRPG. It's a Western RPG and it's indie. I don't know, you got your information wrong. Am I excited? No, I'm not excited for anything modern. Until I make sure I have some kind of filter. And I need to filter all the wokeness and censorship and whatever. And when I make sure there's nothing of the sort, then I get excited. But right now, I don't give a fuck, a flying fuck about anything new. I missed some of your comments when I was doing my monologue. I don't know those channels, Wishbone. Well, yeah. Praetor says it doesn't matter if they were altered. There will be mods to restore anything you want before you even get there. Okay. Yeah, I think the Suikoden remasters will probably work fine on my computer. So I'll probably wait for that if they were altered. The garbage 0 rating for Japanese games. That's right. It's really interesting. I don't think so, Critical Hard. I don't think I'll ever change my mind. I can guarantee I will never change my mind on Chained Echoes. Alright, so I read everything you guys had to say. Now what did I miss? Sorry. Oh, they said that the gacha in Suikoden Leap is only for skins of characters, but you'll be able to play every character from just playing the story. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So it's not gonna be gacha? Okay, that's cool. Clear Obscure gets asked about on every Q&A. That's right. I also get asked a lot about Xenoblade Remaster and everything that's trending, you know. That's right, Tyson. That's the truth right there. I need to come out of the closet and stop lying to you guys. I'm very excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Super excited. Where's my Ubisoft t-shirt? Damn, and my rainbow hat. Fuck, I forgot about it. Do you think Kojima is a genius? Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Kojima, Hideo Kojima, but yeah, I do believe he's a genius. Artistic genius. But I'm not really a fan of his games. No, Yasfu, I don't give a shit about it. You can say whatever you want about this fucking game, because it's trash, I know that, but this song... Did you know that if you're gonna post your Steam account on your profile, we can give you video games through Steam? Yeah, I can do that. But I need to look on the negative side of things too. I mean, from what I've seen, posting my Steam account on my profile, I know people can give me gifts. That's great, that's a great positive thing, but what's the downside of that? What's gonna happen to me? What could happen to me negatively speaking, if I made my Steam account public, you know? Someone like me making public my Steam account. What's your opinion about the Nintendo Alarmo? What the hell is that, dude? What's that? You guys are gonna start arguing about the modding. I don't hate that argument, but I don't 100% agree with it. We could give you Unicorn Overlord. I already have Unicorn Overlord. I want a physical console version of it so I can collect it and add it to my collection. But I already have a digital copy of Unicorn Overlord. Have you played Rise of the Ronin? No. Weirdos could message you on Steam if you give it out. Then no, forget it. I'd rather sacrifice the gifts. Imagine people being able to message me. What are they gonna say? Hey Eric, I love your content? I don't think so. What do you think? The Trails games. Crossbell Duology, is it on par or better than Sky Trilogy? I think they play almost exactly the same. I don't see a lot of difference. I mean, obviously, Crossbell is an improvement in a few things because it came afterwards. And I played and beat the originals, because right now it will be a bit unfair to compare the remasters of the Crossbell Duology versus the original Trails in the Sky trilogy on PSP, you know, so it's unfair. So comparing all the PSP, strictly the PSP versions, you know, technically speaking, I think Crossbell is better because it's just the game that came afterwards. They improved several things, but in everything else, they play exactly the same. There's not that much of a difference, you know, the battle system is almost the same, the orbment system, walking around town, the enemies in the field, you know, the exploration, it's just basically the same. I think a Crossbell, and now comparing Trails from Zero to Trails in the Sky, the first chapter, I think Zero is the better game because the pacing is much better. It hooks you up right from the start, and Sky takes a long time to hook you up. And it's kind of like halfway. I mean, it's just Sky's first chapter is a very slow game. It really takes a while to really start and hook you in. You know, whereas Zero, I think it just hooks you in from the start, you know, because it's an unusual plot. I mean, you're controlling police officers investigating the mafia, whereas Trails in the Sky is more traditional, you know, like Lunar or Grandia. It's about the sense of adventure and going out and training to be a bracer, or you know what I mean. So, and that's cool, you know, but Zero has a more interesting, more mature premise than that. But to be completely honest, those are the only two things in which I think the Crossbell Duology is better than in the Sky Trilogy. I think everything else is better. I like the story better in Sky. I like some of the characters better in Sky. Like, I honestly don't have a very strong opinion on most of the characters from the Crossbell Duology. I have a strong opinion of Risha Mao, though. But yeah, most of the characters, like Lloyd, is kind of like okay. He's just okay as a main character, whereas Estelle is fucking Estelle, man. She's just fucking Estelle. Come on! Do I need to explain? Well, she's like god tier level of character, whereas Lloyd is just like eh. And then there's Ellie. Ellie's fine. I like Ellie a lot, but then again, she's like there's not I don't even know what to say about her. Like, okay, you know, she's an interesting character at best. Tio, I know you guys are into your lolis. I'm not, you know how I feel. Even though Tio is not exactly a loli, but she kinda is the girl that looks like fucking 12 in the party, and she's super smart and intellectual. I hate that fucking cliche, man. I don't like Tio. And Randy, I like Randy. You know, I think Randy is a character that I probably wouldn't have appreciated back in the day, but nowadays, now that I'm an adult, you know, I think I can appreciate, even though I'm nothing like him, you know, but I like his character, I like his development. He's the most interesting character in the Crossbell duology, alongside Rixia Mao. And when it comes to Rixia, sure, she's great fan service, huge fucking massive bonkers, you know, but I think her character and the development she gets is also really interesting, you know. Those two should have been the main characters, not Lloyd, Ellie, and Tio. It's like, I have nothing against them, but I'm like, I'm not a fan of those guys, you know. And Sky, you got like Stell. Joshua is a little bit generic at first, but once you start finding out the truth behind him, his past. And then, I don't know, the Sky trilogy introduced us to the Ouroboros shenanigan organization, you know, and that was like really interesting. That's why it's more special, you know. And we start seeing all these characters like Louis, for example. And then you got like Scheherazade, another great character with an interesting past. She's not one of my favorites though. Olivier, I know you guys fucking hate him, but I think he's funny, I think he's hilarious because he's basically a troll. Always trolling everybody, you know, and the Estelle comebacks to everything he says are fucking genius. I love that dynamic, you know, between these two characters. Because Olivier by himself, he's kind of annoying. I don't like him either, but when he's with Estelle, I fucking love the guy. Yeah, so what else can I say? You get Chloe / Claudia, also an interesting character. It's just, there's more interesting characters to me personally in the Sky trilogy. Agate, for example, and Tita. I prefer Tita over Tio. Tita at least is cute and acts cute, and Tio is like, you know, oh, don't treat me like a child, I'm an intellectual, super smart girl, like, come on. And Tita is just fucking Tita. She acts like a girl, you know, and she's fucking cute, right? So I prefer Tita Russell. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on, right? You get the idea. I like Trails in the Sky more than Crossbell, okay? Sorry I went on I went on with that. I know you hate it when I monologue like that. Can we not talk about Ren? Because I don't like her in Trails in the Sky. Like, I started liking her a little bit more when she was growing up. In Cold Steel, for example, I think I like her more, but when in Trails in the Sky, she's just an annoying little pseudo-evil brat. People only like Ren because of that door in Trails in the Sky the Third. That's the only reason. Before that door, before that game, before the internet found out about that door, where we get to see her horrendous past, which is fucking horrible. Horrible in the sense as tragic. You know, nobody cared about Ren. Everybody disliked Ren, you know. But no, that the internet made that door famous, you know, and oh, all of a sudden everybody loves Ren. Great. That's just my opinion, you know. Van is a piece of shit, man, from a piece of shit of a game. Treasure Chest is the best character in Trails in the Sky. In all the Trails games. Fuck Trails Through Daybreak, man. Don't ask me questions about that fucking piece of shit of a game. Are there any retro games that you're excited to replay again or play for the first time? A lot. Dude, a lot. A couple of days ago, I made a Game Boy Advance stream on my Twitch channel, and I knew some of the games, but others, it was my first time playing them, and I'm pretty excited, you know, to play them, because I only played them for like 20 minutes each, you know, so I got excited because some of them looked really good and interesting, you know, and they're fan translated, so pretty excited to play those. Right now I'm still playing Ash, on the Nintendo DS by Hironobu Sakaguchi. You know, I'm still playing that. I'm still playing Queen's Blade, as you saw. So, dude, I have a lot of backlog when it comes to retro games. Now, am I excited to replay them? No, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury to replay games anymore. I mean, RPGs. I can replay any fucking game right now I want to because it's gonna take me like a few minutes or hours, you know? But RPGs take a lot of my time, and I'd rather dedicate that time to RPGs that I haven't played before so I can review them here for my channel, you know? Do I miss replaying old RPGs? Yes, I do. You know, I kind of resisted myself from finishing Radical Dreamers, the Chrono Cross remaster. You know, I've beaten Chrono Cross to death, but only the original version, which is also on PS3, you know. But when it comes to the remaster on PS4 and Switch, you know, I made it far, but I never beat it. Because I have beaten Chrono Cross a lot, so I was like, So yeah, I don't have the luxury anymore to replay some of my all-time favorite RPGs, you know, even though I want to. Because this is my job, you know, and and there's just nothing in it for me if I keep replaying the same games over and over. You know, I'd rather play new games so I can review them. I'd like to believe that those are the highlights of some of my top 10s, you know. Whenever I create a top 10 and I put there like 2 or 3 games that I've never played before and it's my first time talking about them, or I've only covered those games like once in my entire career, you know, I get excited, you know. So nowadays, it goes hand by hand with my job with this channel, you know, to play new games instead of replaying old games. That doesn't mean that I don't miss that, you know, I miss that, you know, a lot, you know, but my job is, I mean, it's just better for me if I keep playing new games, so I can have more and more RPGs to talk about. And I'm very passionate about that. Xiaomu and Reiji. Oh, that's right, we're listening to Namco Cross Capcom. Love this fucking game. Which other JRPGs are designed around being trilogies from the start, like Xenosaga, Dot Hack, the Dot Hack series? Dot Hack was initially planned as 5 games, I believe, but then it ended up being just 4. And then the GU trilogy was planned as a trilogy, and it became one. It was planned from the start as a trilogy. Another example, it's not a trilogy, but another example is Golden Sun. I read that from the start, the developers had this idea of creating 2 different games that were like one and the same. Like in this game, you're gonna play as these characters from this story, and in this other game, you're gonna play as the antagonists, you know? But it's the same story, it happens on real time, you know? Golden Sun, that's another one. Yeah, others that I know of were planned as sagas, you know, Trails, obviously. The Trail series, Trails in the Sky. I don't know. What I don't know if that is that if the Trail series was planned to be this fucking long, you know. But Trails in the Sky was originally planned and envisioned as a trilogy, or more like a duology. Because Trails in the Sky the Third, let's face it, it feels more like a spin-off. And I think its biggest mistake was to be called 3, like Trails in the Sky the Third, as if they meant the 3rd chapter. They just removed the word chapter. But it's like, come on, you know? It shouldn't have been... It should have been its own thing. It should have been called Trails in the Sky something else, you know? And yes, it's a canon sequel to Sky 1 and 2. Right? But I don't think it was planned that way. I think they just pulled that out of their asses. When they finished the duology, it had a lot of success, and Falcon was probably, we gotta do something, you know, we gotta like continue the story somehow. Oh, let's do a spin-off. And yeah, it's a great fucking spin-off, you know, but it's kind of hard. If you play, it's kind of hard to really think it's like Trails in the Sky 3, episode 3. You know, it's just... it isn't quite there for me. That's my opinion. You may think differently, but that's how I see it, you know. It just doesn't quite feel like a main title, you know. But it is there. It is what it is, and it's a great fucking game. But Crossbell was also planned as a duology. Cold Steel, I'm pretty sure they only planned 4 games. And then they created Reverie to wrap things up of the entire series. and that's where the series died for me. So nothing exists to me beyond that. And that's it. And yeah, exactly, Brian. I mean, actually, if you want to be that actually guy, actually the games were supposed to be like one game, but it was so fucking big it couldn't fit in one cartridge or in one UMD file, so they made 2 games. It was just too long. What else? I think that's it, you know. I'm sure there are others, but nothing comes to mind. Another possibility, I haven't looked this up. What I'm about to say, I don't know for a fact, you know, but I think the Atelier series, like Iris, for example, Iris on the PlayStation 2, I don't know if it was planned as a trilogy, but there's always been trilogies on the Atelier games, the Iris, the Mysterious trilogy, the Arland trilogy, you know, and I don't know if they were planned that way, or I don't know. The Atelier, I don't fucking know. But those are series that kind of feel like they were planned as trilogies, you know? But I could be wrong. It takes a risk to pre-plan trilogies unless there's already some demand or recognition. Yeah, kind of like the Lord of the Rings movies, right? Yeah, it's very risky. I have, it's probably not that much similar, but it's similar. You know, I have planned videos. Like from the start, I'm like, you know what? I want to do a trilogy of videos. There's one I can use this example. I made a top 10 called Top 10 Super Obscure RPG Gems. I don't know if you guys remember that video. That's like 2 years ago, and I planned it as a trilogy. Well, actually, I planned it as a series. Whenever I plan videos, it's not like it's gonna be just a trilogy and that's it. But it usually, video series usually die with the third game because it is a curse. A lot of people watch the first video, then not so many watch the second video, and barely anyone watches the third video. And that's just the same with a lot of trilogies in movies, in series, in shows, in blah blah blah, you know. There are some exceptions like the Lord of the Rings. All 3 fucking movies were super successful, you know, but it's usually like that. It usually is like that. And taking Xenosaga, for example, it was like that. Like the first game, everybody played it. The second game, I don't know. Like only half of the people who play the first game play the sequel. And who play the third game? Nobody. Like 20% of that 50% of the initial 100%. So, yeah. It's a perfect example. I think it's the same with the Trail series. In other series, you know, most people, you know, only play the first game. Like I know a lot of people who played Trails in the Sky the first episode, the first chapter, and they either didn't like it or it was too long for them or too boring or too slow and they ditched it, you know, and those people didn't play the second chapter, which is the best, you know, or even they didn't even bother with the third one. Agarest, well, that's really fucking obscure, man, to cite as an example, to quote as an example, but okay, yeah. Some people play the first game, but the others, they didn't even bother. God Eater is different. That's fucking different. I think it's backwards, you know. I think a lot of people played 3, but not a lot of people play the first one. That's different, that's weird, you know, but it's usually the case with a lot of video game sagas or trilogies. Or duologies, you know, a lot of people play the first one and then a lot of people don't bother with the second one because they just don't like it. It's normal, you know, I don't think that's something fucked up or anything, it's just normal, you know. You create this fucking this bottle of water. And then you put it out there to 10 people. And 10 people are like, okay, I'll buy it, it's something new, I don't know what that is, so let's try it out. So they buy it. So 6 people liked the bottle, and they're like, okay, I want more, but 4 people didn't like it. I'm like, you know what? I didn't like it. So sometime later, I'm like, hey, here's part 2 of the same bottle. So those 6 people are gonna buy it, but I just lost 4 people. 4 people are like, I'm not gonna buy it. I didn't like the first one. Why the fuck should I bother with the second one? So, and then those 6 people try the second bottle, and they're like, you know, 2 of them are like, you know what, I don't like it. I didn't like it this time. I think the first one was better, so I give up. So I released a third bottle, and I only have now 4 people out of the 10 that I had in the beginning. So it is what it is. That's the history of humanity with everything. I don't know why I went on with that fucking topic. Let me drink my fucking water now. What JRPGs went too far when it comes to fan service? Well, everybody, I mean, the first JRPG that came into mind immediately was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because it's one of the very few JRPGs, well, not one of the very few, where I actually think the fan service worked against it. I mean, there had been fan service in the Xeno series before, but not in that level. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 just went overboard. And yeah, the girls are pretty good looking and everybody likes them. And they're super popular girls, Mithra and Pyra. Which are, in Japanese, their names are Hikari and Homura, right? So Hikari and Homura, very, very popular characters, you know, but they became popular because they are fan service. But when you play the games, you know, it's like, it's kind of hard to take Xenoblade Chronicles 2 seriously because of the fan service. So I think it actually went to, that's an example of a game that went too far with the fan service. Like, I felt, I mean, what is this? Xenoblade Chronicles or Hyper Dimension Neptunia? You know, is this Monolith Soft or Compile Hard? You know what I mean? Another one... Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 went too far with fan service. I love the fan service, you know, that's one of the reasons why I love that fucking game. But I think it hurt the story because it was supposed to be taken seriously, and it's a game with a lot of lore and rich story and narrative. And you got these fucking dumb jokes and waifus that are overly sexualized, you know, and like, come on. God Eater has a similar issue, but I think God Eater stays on point and there's not a lot of jokes. It's more about the humor, you know, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it's more about the humor, not just the fan service. We've seen like games with like a lot of fan service, but the story stays on point, right? But in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it just goes on and on with stupid, silly, cheesy jokes, you know? And for example, in God Eater, you play God Eater, any of the games, and the fan service is wow! Super wow, but they stay on point. They don't do a lot of jokes, so it's easier to take the story seriously, you know. Anyway, that's a good example of a game that took fan service too far. God Eater, I wouldn't say too far, but maybe a bit far. Kind of like, come on, there's this tragic scene where somebody's dying or somebody's going through some hardcore, or a character like Alisa is revealing her dark past. And the camera does these shots of her ass, of her tits. You know, I'm like, dude, she's telling me her tragic past story. And you want me to look at her fucking tits? So, yeah, God Eater is also kind of like that. Like, okay, fine. I'll cry, I'll sob, and then so some great bonkers right there, Alisa. Oh, what a sad story. Oh, nice miniskirt. Oh. Come on. And what others? Yeah, but we're not talking about JRPGs with a lot of fan service, you know, because they are fan service games. Like saying, you know what, Dead or Alive went too far with the fan service. That's a fan service game. That's what you expect. It's like this porn movie went too far with porn. It's porn. What do you want, the porn reduced or something? Is it gonna hurt the story? Come on. It's like saying, you know, Galgon, you mentioned Galgon, is like, dude, oh, please reduce the fan service because it hurts the story. It's going too far. No. No way. But yeah, a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is like, you know. So those are some good examples of JRPGs that, where the fan service went too far. I think another one is probably Death and Request, especially the second one. The first one, not so much because it still has a lot of humor. And it is by Compile Hard, so there you go. But the second one was like super dark and edgy and fucked up beyond belief. And there were some scenes that are like stupid and funny, you know, maybe to break out of all the darkness. So, okay, I understand that. but it felt out of place, you know. Imagine, I don't know how many of you played Red. Oh, here's another example, but this is more of a God Eater example, like Code Vein, for example. Code Vein, the fan service was subliminal, even. But it takes the story seriously. I mean, you do get some comedy, but it's super rare. It's super dark and edgy and mature, you know. And yeah, you can enjoy the fan service if you want to, but it doesn't feel like it gets in the way, you know. But I was gonna say that imagine if Redemption Reapers had fan service. I know most of you didn't play the game, but just imagine that. It would be like, come on. That's my answer. Those are some JRPGs where the fan service went too far. That's a good clip for my second channel. Do you think the Switch 2 is going to be as successful as Switch 1? I don't think so, because it's going to be the same console. Switch 2, I already talked about this, it feels like an upgrade of Switch 1, and that's it. It feels more like, to me, Switch 2 is basically Switch Pro. Or Super Slim or something, you know. I think it's going to be successful. I don't think it's going to be that successful, but I could be wrong, I don't know. Dragon's Crown fan service went overboard. Yeah, that's another good example, but the fan service in that game is, for some characters, is very grotesque. Like, it's not really fun to look at. A big chunk of it still is, you know, like, oh, we're great, you know, but in other occasions, it's like, it feels fucking weird. And I don't mean the main characters, you know. If you're into muscular women in a freaking thong bikini, then Dragon's Crown's got you covered. Or sorceresses with huge fucking tits, and when they run, they jump. It's funny. But yeah, Dragon's Crown is another good example of that, you know. Maybe the fan service in that game also went too far. Like, it didn't need... I mean, Vanillaware is all about sexiness, you know. So yeah, it needed the sexiness, but not that level of sexiness. It was kind of like unnecessary, you know, but I still like it and I appreciate the art style, you know. I'm a big fan of Vanillaware, so what do you expect? Persona 5 goes pretty far with fan service. Oh, you mean spin-offs? Oh yeah, it went too far. I think it's over. I think Atlus learned their lesson. They haven't released a single spin-off in like a year and a half, right? Wasn't the last one Persona 5 Tactica? What else has Atlus released Persona 5 related after Persona 5 Tactica? Tactica was the last one, right? I think they know now. I think they're like, you know what? It's enough. It's enough. We've milked this series, this specific game to death already. It's over. Tales of Berseria. I don't think it went far with the fan service. I just think Velvet looks ridiculous in that outfit, you know, but ridiculous or not, she looks sexy, but it didn't go overboard. I don't think it went too far. Yeah, remember that, Phantonium. What about it? All the woke fucking losers melted down with Stellar Blade. Not just IGN. Your waifu from Vanillaware, Velvet. I love Velvet. She's definitely the sexiest character in the game. But I think I like Gwendolyn a bit more. I'm more of a Gwendolyn guy, for some reason. She's super sexy as well, you know, but I prefer Gwendolyn's sexiness over Velvet's sexiness, for some reason. Persona 5X, the mobile game, didn't that come before Persona 5 Tactica? Did that come afterwards? Jesus, Atlus. It's been almost 10 years. It's been like 7 years. Fucking... Tactica came later, right? There we go. So Tactica was the last fucking thing Atlus released when it comes to Persona. Fantonium, you can't compare Lost Odyssey's fan service with God Eater. Yeah, some of the girls in Lost Odyssey, like the Queen, she's super sexy and hot, but come on, man. Have you seen the girls in God Eater or Code Vein? Can we change the subject? Sure. Change it yourself. Fucking ask something. We always end in these fucking Q&As. We always end up talking about waifus. One of these days I'll get married, and maybe my wife is gonna be sitting next to me, and no more waifu topics because she's gonna get mad probably. Hopefully not. There's gonna be like, you know what? You're gonna do your Q&A. I'm just going downstairs. I'm going somewhere else by myself. You can talk to your fans about waifus. That's gonna happen. Do you have more fan-translated games in the backlog? A lot of them. I just added 3 more a couple of days ago on the Game Boy Advance. I have a huge backlog of fan-translated JRPGs, man. A lot. Weren't you there in that stream 2 days ago on Twitch? Is Alliance Alive the closest thing to Suikoden besides Eiyuden? No. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, it was written by the same guy. How about Radiata Stories? That's also pretty close to Suikoden in the sense that you recruit everybody, a lot of characters. And to how you recruit the characters in Radiata Stories is just like Suikoden. They all have like different missions, different things to do, different side quests, different approach, you know. So yeah, Radiata Stories. Maybe the Fire Emblem games, you know, because you do recruit a lot of characters. Sure, it's different in Fire Emblem, but you also recruit a lot of characters to your army to fight the enemy army. So yeah, the closest thing to Suikoden besides Eiyuden will be probably the Alliance Alive, Radiata Stories, and some of the Fire Emblem games. That's the best I can think of. But in terms of gameplay mechanics, you know, and battle system, and I think they're all very different. Like the Alliance Alive is more of a saga game. You don't level up, you just increase random stats at the end of every battle. There's no leveling system in that game. Radiata Stories is an action RPG. No strategy things whatsoever, you know. Fire Emblem is strictly a grid-based tactical game, so... You think I'll be marrying a local girl? At this point, I don't care where she's from, man. Local or not. I'm desperate. I want to get married. You can be a fan from New Zealand. Damn, that's far away, but I don't give a shit. Except from California. Is Summer Night X Crown Tears part of your backlog? What console is that on? It probably is, man, like all of the other Summer Night games. I mean, Summer Night is not a priority because, to be completely honest, I'm not the biggest die-hard fan of Summer Night. Like, I played 5, 6, and the ones on the Game Boy Advance, and I think they're good games, but not a single one of those games is like, wow. No, so they don't take priority. Nintendo DS, okay, so maybe they are. Is 10 Nordics worth playing? Yes, it is. It's not as good as 8 or 9 though, but it's pretty good. And there's even despite the fact that NIS America translated the game and localized it, well, I didn't do some side quests. I don't know if there are some political bullshit in some of the side quests that I didn't play through, you know. But what I played through, there was barely anything political, close to zero. Eric will marry a Ubisoft employee. You mean an ex-employee? Someone with a brain that quit 10 years ago. Is it important to you for you to have a gamer girlfriend? Yeah, kinda, because otherwise what the hell are we gonna do? I mean, you gotta understand, gaming is my biggest passion, it's my biggest hobby. And it's also my job. So I need to spend several hours a day playing video games. So if she's not a gamer, what the hell are we gonna do? I mean, she doesn't have to be a gamer, you know. She can be a non-gamer, you know. I don't mind. If she's not into video games, we can sort things out. So I'd like to have preferably a girlfriend that's into video games. But if that's not possible, at this point I don't give a shit, you know. But I don't want to end up with someone whom I can't share things with, you know. A lot of people get that wrong. I've talked to some girls in real life, not girls that I dated, just other girls that heard me talking about this and they got pissed off, you know. They were like, oh, then you'll always be alone. You know what? I'd rather be alone than be with a girl that I have nothing in common with, and then I'll probably divorce in like 1 year or 1 month. Shit, man, come on, we need to have something in common, right? Because we're gonna spend our lives together. But she doesn't, like, it isn't indispensable for me, for her to be a gamer. What is the best number of characters to have to tell all their stories equally and not have someone left out? Well, I guess that leaves Suikoden, Fire Emblem, Radiata stories out. Even Trails. I'd say a maximum of 10. If you really want to get like strong development for everybody in one game, no sequels, you know, because we've seen like trilogies like Xenosaga or .hack.GU, where some of the characters get developing until the second game or the third game, you know. Somebody says 6, 8. I'd say a maximum of 10, no more than 10. I think developers can make a game with 10 main characters and with everybody with the best development possible. Like take Octopath Traveler for example, you got 8 characters in there. And sure, that's what makes the game super long, 50, 60 hours minimum, you know, and but that you got 8 characters and they all get excellent development. Every single one of them in both games. So if you can do 8, I think you can do 10, maybe, but no more than 10. I'd say 10 will be the max in one game. If she plays Fortnite or Warzone, will that matter? Come on. Why are you guys asking those questions? Do you know a girl that's into me or something? Are you going to introduce me to a girl? If not, then why the fuck do you care? Ivalice is an underused world. Is it? It's there in like 6 games. I don't think it's underused, I think it's overused. Yeah, I don't care, Fantonium. Do you ever find yourselves having to take notes on the lore of a game to keep up with the story? No. I have pretty good memory. And I also have something called the internet. Ever heard of that? I mean, it probably will be easier to take notes on things that I know I'm going to forget about the game when I'm about to review it, you know? But if I forget about something, I just look it up online. I do take notes on other things that I want to say so I don't forget them, you know, like, oh, this part of the game, or this gameplay mechanic, or the fact that this leveling system is like this, you know, stuff like that. Little things. Those are the ones that I need to write down or memorize. But the lore, no. Oh, you want me to continue my story with the landlady in Canada? What else do you want to know? I told the whole thing on the PlayStation 1 JRPGs stream that I did a couple of weeks ago. What was like a month ago? Well, it was a month ago, right? It's been a month. Wow. It's been a month since that. Yeah. What else is there to say about that horrible human being? If that's not even a human, that's a monster, man. I don't know what that is, but it's not that ain't human. You fear you're going to get spoiled if you check lore on the internet. Oh, because you are not a reviewer, man. I am, so I finish the game first, and then I look up the lore. I didn't tell my story with the second place that I lived in, where there was this guy who was, what was the term? Disabled. And disabled my ass. This motherfucking piece of shit, man. So in the second house, when I lived in Canada, there were these two guys. I told you about Trevor. Let's not talk about Trevor, please, anymore. Let's talk about the other roommate. You know, Mac. What a fucking piece of shit of a human being, man. He suffered from severe anxiety, which was fucking... well, whether that was true or not, you know, he used to get up, wake everybody up, like in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 times sometimes a day, smashing the door because he needed to go outside. So he will go out through the front door and slam it every time. And I'll never forget, during the first days that I lived there, I asked the landlord, who also lived there, I asked him, hey, what the fuck, man? How do you put up with this? Doesn't he wake you up? And he's like, yeah, he wakes me up, you know. But he was the kind of guy who was afraid to kick out someone who is considered as disabled, you know, because, oh, mental health illness and whatnot. You know, there's some really fucking sick people out there who really need help and awareness. Oh, but no, all the attention goes and the care goes to a fucking piece of shit like this guy. That's the world we live in nowadays. Talking about the landlady, I don't care. But talking about this guy really pisses me off, like on a personal level, you know? Because I know what it's like to be sick, but this guy was just full of shit. He had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend went there several times to have sex with him. I don't know, man. I have no respect for these people. They are these people are an insult to the people that are really sick out there. You know, it's just fuck people like Mac. Fucking piece of shit, man. 9 Inch Nails on tour this year. Really? Great. I don't want to give money to Trent Reznor, so I'm not going to see them. Lost Odyssey is an example where the localization worked as the English dub was done first. Well, I didn't know that. Where did you get that piece of information, man? You can ask all you want, and I will answer. But I will not get into an argument. I'm gonna answer why I don't have respect for Trent Reznor anymore, but that's it. Okay? If you get offended, feel free to get the fuck out of my stream. If you don't get offended, great. But I'm not gonna turn this into a conversation between you and me. I'm just gonna say that Trent Reznor became a Hollywood composer and he's composed soundtracks for movies that are woke. So, yeah. That's my answer. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm pretty sure that was his real girlfriend. Yum yum. I don't think it was a rental girlfriend. Pretty fucking sure. I lived there, man. Next to him. For like 9 months, 10 months. What was it, like more? Like almost a year. Trevor of GTA 5? No. He wished he was that guy. He was faking it for a disability check. You goddamn right. Thankfully, he just lived there for like 4 months, and then he moved away during the pandemic started, and then he moved away. And I'll always be thankful for that. I was like, oh, thank God, you know, he moved away. I didn't suffer him like 10 months. But yeah, during those 3 months that I lived with him, I like complained about him like 2 or 3 times to the landlord. I was like, dude, how do you put up with this guy? He's just ridiculous. And sometimes he will go outside, you know, to smoke weed. And every now and then, you know, the smell got in. Even if I had the windows shut down. Like, what the fuck, man? These people, man. How many Mexicans speak English as well as you? Gee, I don't know, man. There's like, I don't know, 100 million people living in this country. I don't know all of them. Sorry. Anyway, is it common? Okay, sorry. I was just being an asshole. Yes, it's common. As well as I don't think I can answer that because I don't know. I'm not sure. You didn't need to delete your questions or your comments, Darkness. Come on, man. Why did you delete them? I didn't get offended. Well, actually, you didn't offend me. Trent Reznor offended me a long time ago. You didn't need to delete them, man. Well, whatever. I think it's very common for Mexicans to speak English. Very common. But I will say that only 30%, let's make it 35% of the country speaks and understands English. Maybe they aren't completely bilingual, you know, but they understand it and talk it to a certain extent, you know. I'd like to think it's 35. It depends on the area, yeah, exactly, you know, but I'd like to say 35% of Mexicans speak and understand English normally or regularly or relatively speaking, you know. Maybe more, maybe 40, you know. But I don't know how many people here are like 100% bilingual. Maybe just 20%. My channel in Spanish is called Discusión Gamer. You will find a link to it in the description, Ivan. I was in Cancun and like 90% of people spoke English. Oh, there you go. Oh, well, dude. Cancun? Cancun is like the opposite of Los Angeles. Los Angeles, there's more Mexicans than Americans, right? You know that? So in Cancun is the opposite. There's more Americans and Canadians than Mexicans. And that's why the very few Mexicans who live in Cancun are 100% bilingual. It depends on the area. How did you become bilingual? Did you study abroad? I didn't study abroad, but I did live in England and Canada, and that improved my English and my conversations and my understanding. But I started learning English in school, of course, and also by myself because when I was like 12 years old, because I wanted to understand the lyrics of my favorite bands, and that's how it all started, you know. So I've been understanding and practicing English since I was 12. That's my story. Peruvians don't speak English? Did you ever play the Squaresoft game The Bouncer on PS2? That was also recorded in English first, then in Japanese. Well, that's interesting. I have played it. It's a beat 'em up by Tetsuya Nomura. You know what's worse? I own a copy of it in my collection. That is true, Ayoba. That is correct. One of these days, I'll be doing these Q&A live streams with a strap jacket, and a straight. What was it called? Stray jacket? No, strapped jacket. What's the name of it in English? You know what I mean, right? And I'm gonna be like this, you know. Hello, guys. What are your questions? Straight jacket, thanks. You know. What's my opinion on Xenoblade Chronicles 4? It's gonna be like that. I'm pretty sure that's the future of. That's my future. Answering questions like that. So you better do super chats to support these Q&As. Because I don't make money. I don't make money for answering your questions, you know. I unlist these Q&As like 3 hours after they're over. I unlist them. They don't even get to 1,000 views. I don't make a single penny out of these fucking Q&As. Except the super chats. That's how I support my channel. No, I'm kidding. I don't make any money. Other than the super chats, there's no money. A straight jacket. Do you have plans getting a green screen? I don't know. I mean, I know I could use a green screen to record like better intros, but I kind of like in my videos and maybe come back to the videos. But I'm kind of the kind of guy. I mean, it's just I need better lighting. Forget about a green screen. I need better lighting in this room to improve the quality of these Q&As, and also to maybe come back and do more intros for my videos more often. But I don't want a green screen because I like to show the real deal. I'm the kind of guy who shows his collection or something else, you know, something real behind me. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get a green screen, yum yum. Thank you very much, Ryan, for the donation. Funding for Eric's future straight jacket. It'll happen, believe it or not. And I'll have my doctor right here supervising what I answer. And he's gonna pop in, you know, like this, like saying, please don't ask Eric those questions. They upset him. He's my patient. Thank you. I'm gonna be like all like this, you know, like, oh, don't worry, doctor. I don't mind. I don't mind. Do you make money on Twitch? Yes, I do, but like very little. What other Wii U games you plan to play since you have the emulator? I want to start getting into some of those Mario games that I've only played in friends' houses, you know. I like to play Super Mario 3D Land, 3D World, you know, those games and others. I'll be honest, I'm not that interested in the Wii U. There are barely any games for the console that I'm interested in. So I probably won't be playing that emulator a lot. I mainly just use it for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Xenoblade Chronicles X, sorry. It sounded like I said Xenoblade Chronicles Sex, right? Am I the only one who thought that? Yeah, I probably was the only one who thought that. Thank you, Michael. You need Ace Attorney to shout objection to those questions. I object to that comment, you know. I'm not a fan of Ace Attorney. That's right, Brian. Brian is a Twitch streamer as well, so he knows that. I mean, I make enough money to pay a month on Twitch to pay the power bill. If I'm lucky, maybe the internet bill. Maybe. That's it. Plans for a VTuber channel mascot? No. I don't like VTubers. Maybe I will... Okay, maybe I could create a VTuber, but like I need to appear in the same video and maybe have a conversation, you know, and for memes, for the laughs. Ace Attorney is goated. It probably is, I just never play them. I was being a dumbass, you know. I've never played a single Ace Attorney game. Twitch is all about who you collab with now? Really? Gremlins 2, great fucking game. I feel like playing it now. Well, we gaming channels, gaming YouTubers, we sit in front of our fat. What do you think? This is all I got. What you see is all I got. There's nothing else. This other one, this one right here, this just books, CDs, and movies, DVDs. No, not a single video game stands here. All the video games I have, that's it. You love retro games too. Good to know. I think the main problem, Brian, with Twitch and YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, you know, it's just overly saturated with people. 10 years ago, 8 years ago, there were 10 JRPG channels, right? And now there's like over 100, probably more. So maybe 8 years ago, there were, when did Twitch start? Like in 2016, right? 2017? 2016? I don't remember. So 10 years, let's say 10 years ago, there was just like, I don't know, 5 streamers. And now there's like fucking 3 million. Everybody does it. Do you like movies like Blu-ray? Yeah, I prefer Blu-ray over DVD, but there's a certain nostalgia over DVDs. I don't know, man. I have a thing for DVDs. I'm nostalgic for VHS tapes and DVDs. I don't have a single VHS tape. I should have kept some. I had a small collection and I gave it away like an idiot. I just didn't have the space back then, you know. But I'm nostalgic for VHS tapes and DVDs. Yeaaaaaaaaah is one of the big JRPG streamers on Twitch. Have you heard about her? No. Isn't that a character, a boss in Final Fantasy X? I know that Yeaaaaaaaaah. But I don't know, man. Yes, Zaijur, you missed it. You missed the rant. You knew I was gonna rant. Of course I did. You see, I don't disappoint my audience, you know, I give them what they expect of me, you know? He's probably gonna rant about that Suikoden mobile game. Oh, and I did. You see? You mean Record of Lodoss War, right? Record of Agarest War is the game, man. I mean, Record of Lodoss War, that's the one you're talking about. Your VHS. I didn't have anime. I have a small collection of anime DVDs, but they're all pirated. They aren't original. Well, I have Ergo Proxy, a bunch of them, original, but everything else is piracy. And when it comes to movies and VHS tapes, I never had an anime or a Nova or anything, OVA, you know. All I had is movies. I have my movie collection right there. There's like 40 DVDs, you know, some live shows from The Cure, 9 Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins. There's one for Placebo. Yeah, believe it or not, I was into Placebo. I still have some CDs of Placebo. I know some songs of Placebo in the guitar. Yeah. Like, I'm not anymore. But I was. Some movies in there. I don't have a single Blu-ray, though. I don't have a single Blu-ray. All DVDs, man. Do you like the Criterion Collection? What's that? That sounds familiar. What the hell is that? Diddly in Wonder Labyrinth. Have you played it? No, I know it's a great Metroidvania with great reviews, you know, but I haven't played it. Thoughts on Samurai X? Which one is that? Is that the one with Rurouni Kenshin? I only watched like 3 episodes or 5 or 6 maybe. Didn't hook me, you know. Is that the one? Is Samurai X the same as Rurouni Kenshin? Placebo is still around. I think they released an album like 1 or 2 years ago, which was kind of like meh. The Criterion Collection restores films into 4K often. They just released a restored Mulholland Drive a few years back and it's stunning. Wow. So now you can see Laura Elena Herring's big tits in 4K and Naomi Watts' tits and their lesbian scene in 4K. The 3D Dot Game Hero soundtrack brings me nostalgia. That's a great game. It's pretty fun. Samurai X is a prequel to Kenshin. Oh, okay. So it is Kenshin. Oh, okay. So I don't know much about that. I know the character, you know, but I don't know much about that. Or Inuyasha. Never got into that. I grew up with Saint Seiya, Dragon Ball Z, Ranma and a half. Let's not talk about that, please. Sailor Moon, Magic Knight, Ray Earth, you know, Dragon Quest Fly. No. What's the name of it in English? Dragon Quest Die? We got it as Fly in Mexico. Die, right? So I grew up with that, you know, I grew up with that shit. But I didn't grow up with Kenshin or Naruto or Inuyasha. That was like... When those anime series came out, I think I was already 11 or 12, so that's when I started getting into music more often, more than anything else. I even ditched video games, if you can believe that. I got obsessed with music. This is Trails of Cold Steel music. Oh yeah, it is. I was like, I can recognize this song. Free Time, the first couple of games. It's great. Love this theme. Legend of the Overfiend in VHS. I don't know what that is, but I'm glad you got it. You grew up with Voltes 5. I don't know what that is. Robotech was there. I never got into Robotech or Gundam, you know. Vash the Stampede. You mean Trigon? No, I was already an adult when that came out. Didn't that come out like 2003 or something? That is true, Sammy. Too many fucking high school shit in anime. Way too many, in JRPGs as well. 16-year-old character saving the world. Hey, I like Ranma. Just don't like it nowadays for obvious reasons, you know, but I was a big fan back in the day. Oh, Cowboy Bebop, 1998. Okay, so I was like 13 years old when those came out. I stopped paying attention to anime series when those anime series came out. I got more into music, you know. That's fucking disgusting, Jonathan. Can nothing top Claymore? For me, only one anime series tops Claymore, and that is Ergo Proxy. That is the best fucking anime show I've seen. I love it. Ergo Proxy. And then Claymore. And then Psychopaths. The first season. The last season was like, what the hell is this? Who are these guys? Who are these characters? What the fuck is going on now? Now, Psychopaths, the original, the first 2 seasons. Fantastic anime. Is Ajin completed? I remember they released 2 seasons on Netflix like a million years ago, and then it died. Elfen Lied, great anime. Devilman, that's a great fucking anime as well. Berserk. There are others, you know. Rosen Maiden, I don't care. I like Rosen Maiden. I don't feel guilty about it. It's not a guilty pleasure. I fucking love Rosen Maiden. What can I say? Violence Jack, never seen that. Black Lagoon. Ooh. I loved all the discussions and conversations between the 2 main characters. Their arguments, really heated and intense arguments, man. That's what made Black Lagoon for me. Love it. Cowboy Bebop was fine. I don't know. Probably should have watched it when I was little, but I watched it as an adult. I actually watched it a few years ago for the first time, and it was like, it's okay, it's good. Same Ghost in the Shell. The same, you know, I don't have a lot of appreciation for it. Probably because I didn't watch it when it came out, but I think it's a good anime. And this High Score Girl. I love that anime. It finished High School of the Dead. Isn't that a fan service anime? I haven't seen that one. With zombies, right? The devil is a part-timer. I don't watch Netflix. I don't have Netflix, you know. I canceled my account many years ago. Have you seen Queen's Blade? Yes, Yum Yum. I was just saying there was a third season and it's ass. So Psychopaths. Valkyrie Drive. I didn't see the anime. I played the game. I played the game though. What is this? Judgment? Ooh. No wonder this fucking song was awesome. I never finished Queen's Blade. I got to the episode, I think it's the second or third episode, where there's a girl that shoots milk out of her tits, and that's how she attacks. And I don't know, I was kind of like, well, is that supposed to be funny? I know a lot of people found that funny, but to me it was like, I don't know, and I think it's kind of disgusting, you know, so I stopped watching. I'm not kidding. There's a girl in Queen's Blade that shoots milk out of her tits. That's her attack. It is. I'm not joking. Look it up. And she's also in the game in one of the routes. That's a game with 2 routes. I got 1 route, and she wasn't there, thankfully. She's in the other route that I didn't choose. There's a lot of anime series that I like. Haven't seen anime in a long time though. The last anime I watched was... man, I forgot the name. It was on Prime or... No, it wasn't on Prime. I haven't had Prime in a long time. It's this... Humanity has been petrified. And then the main character is a genius scientist who gets unpetrified. And he starts finding a way to unpetrify people. And then he finds a whole village of natives. Dr. Stone, thanks. That. And I only watched like the first season. I think it was 1 or 2 seasons, I don't remember. That one was alright. It wasn't great or anything, but it was a good, entertaining anime. Oh, Vinland Saga, I fucking love it, man. Haven't seen the last seasons, man. Just the first 2 or 3 seasons of Vinland Saga. Huge fan of Vinland Saga. I fucking love it. I didn't see the Wild Arms or Star Ocean 2 anime series. I watched the Fire Emblem anime. It was fine. Re:Zero. Wait. Tell me about the plot of Re:Zero. I think I watched it. Yeah, that's right, Dr. Stone. I like the girl in that anime. The girl from the native village. She's super sexy and super funny, and I love her. She was my favorite character. Technolize. Phenomenal anime. I fucking love that anime. Technolize. Especially the ending, man. Oh, man. Technolize. Re:Zero. The MC dies over and over. No, haven't seen that. I watched an anime called Re something, you know. And then there's this anime called... That was pretty fun. Hilarious anime. My uncle... Something about the guy's uncle, you know, that apparently he traveled to a fantasy world. And now he lives with his nephew. And the nephew's love interest visits him. What's the name of that anime? Does anybody know? The Uncle anime. My uncle is a mage, or I don't remember the name of the anime. Uncle from Another World? That's the name? Pretty sure it's got a different name, but you know what I mean, right? Like he tells the stories on a big screen, so his nephew and his friend can watch the events, on how he traveled to this fantasy RPG world. I don't remember the name of the anime. That's a good one. Yeah, the guy who loves the Sega Genesis, that guy. And then there's this guy, there's this anime that I watched, what was the name? It's an old man who becomes a superhero. That's a really dark anime, I love that anime. Yeah, these fucking names, right? What's up with this trend of new names for anime series? Like, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? That's the name of the anime. Like, what? What's up with those names, man? English name is Uncle from Another World. Oh, okay. Isekai Oji-san. Okay. Inuyashiki. Thank you, Dunsk. That's the one that that's a really good anime. It surpassed my expectations. Daimachi is goated. I haven't seen that. Is it wrong to pick up girls, right? Yeah. Konosuba. Tell me the name in English, maybe I know it. And you know, I'm the kind of guy who watches anime in Japanese with English subtitles or Spanish subtitles. I don't watch anime in English. Well, I'll watch this Res Zero. I watched Death Note. Anybody know that anime? Ooh, super obscure. That's a good one. That's a good anime. It's kind of overrated, but it's a good one. I watched Gantz. I love Gantz. Fantastic anime. Fate Stay Night, obviously. Fate Zero is one of my favorite anime series of all time. Fate Stay Night is okay. It's a good anime. I like it. Fate Extra is not. I prefer the game. But Fate Zero, masterpiece of an anime. That's one that I strongly recommend. Did you watch the UFC? No, I'm not into wrestling. Or Lucha Libre. Not really. Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, I just played a game a couple of days ago on Twitch. A fan-translated turn-based RPG based on Full Metal Alchemist. That's a great anime. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but I love it. Code Geass, another great one. That's a classic. Great anime. It's kind of over the top, though. I love the girl, you know. The green hair of the girl. Oh my god. What a lucky son of a bitch. I'm so jelly of that guy. Perfect Blue. I haven't seen that. Isn't that a movie, though? Akame ga Kill. I think I know that. Isn't that a fighting game based on that? No, wait. Let me look that up. Which one is that? Akame ga Kill. Oh yeah, I've seen this. The girl, the main antagonist, she's fucking crazy and she's obsessed with the main character, right? Yes, the one. Oh yeah, this is good. This is not like wow, but it's a good anime. I like it. I love the main antagonist. She's fucking nuts. Invincible, no. Paranoia Agent, fantastic. I love that fucking anime. That's top tier anime, man. Paranoia Agent. Parasite. Parasite, that's another great anime. Love that. Oh, I watched both, Newcomb. I watched regular, average, Full Metal Alchemist, and then I watched Brotherhood. And yes, it's better. It's like the definitive edition. It's more complete. Thank you, Vito. Dude, I don't get paid for these Q&As. A decent camera is gonna cost me a lot of money. It's like, come on. No, don't. She's not like Tio. She looks older. Angel Beats. Slam Dunk. Haven't seen those. I haven't seen those. There was one that I kind of liked because it had a lot of fan service. But the story was fucking stupid. But it's one of those anime series where it hooks you up. You know, you don't want to stop watching it just to see what happens. It's about a tournament of beast characters. You know, It's not that famous Beast whatever anime. I haven't seen that, you know. I mean the other one, you know. I don't remember the name of it. I'm starting to forget the names of animes. Vision of Escaflowne. Yeah, I watched that when I was a little kid. I grew up with that. Terraformers. Never seen it. There's an anime about the band Beck. Really? Someone made an anime based on the band Beck? The loser guy? I'm a loser, baby. Really? Fuck me. I can't believe there's an anime based on that. Baka and Test. Never seen it. Fuck, what's the name of that anime? There's this tournament, man, and it's a little bit like Fate Stay Night, as in every character has their own beast warrior fighting in that tournament, you know? Thank you very much, Newcomb. Thanks a bunch. He says, wanted to make a comment on something you said earlier. I watched All Queen's Blade, but the girl with lava breast milk was terrible. Exactly. She's like, dude, this isn't sexy. It's fucking terrible. Oh, the anime is not about the band Beck. It's about a band called Beck. Well, that's fucking stupid. Imagine I'm gonna make an anime based and the band is gonna be called Guns N' Roses. But no. It's not about the Guns N' Roses band. It's just a coincidence that the band's name in my anime is called Guns N' Roses. Get the fuck out of here. It's not Golden Boy. Anime Bobo Bobo, never seen that. Somebody mentioned that before. Basilisk. Basilisk is good. I never thought it was like super great or anything, but Basilisk was good. I liked it a lot, actually. More than I thought I would, you know, Basilisk. Gunslinger Girl, oh man, I love that. I love that. I fucking love that anime. The opening song from the first season. Oh man, love that. What's the name of the band? Who makes... It's one of those indie rock bands, you know, from the 90s. Opening. The Light Before We Land by the Delgados. That's the opening. I love that song and I love the anime. And I knew that anime... I watched that anime like 7 years ago when I was living in England. But I had known the anime for a long time. I just never wanted to watch it because it had like little girls, you know... But then, for some reason, I watched it and great anime. Yeah, fantastic anime. You know, another one that I fucking love is when the what's the name? Higurashi no Naku Koroni. Super strange and bizarre. I fucking love it. Love that anime. In English, it's called When the whatever fucking things cry or something, right? Bastard, the anime, oh man, I was loving that anime because of the fan service and the stupidity of it and the heavy metal. But it's just way too fucking stupid, man. I stopped watching it. I gave up. I was like, no, I gave up on the second season halfway through. I was like, it's so fucking stupid and it isn't funny. But excellent fan service and the heavy metal vibes are fucking great. I'm a huge die-hard fan of Claymore, you probably already know that. Hunter x Hunter, I've never seen it, I've heard some really good things about it. Yu Yu Hakusho, never seen it, I know the anime. You would love Chaos Head. I didn't watch the... what was the name? Chainsaw Head or something. I wanted to watch that, but I didn't. Megalobox, okay, I've never seen that. Kill la Kill was nuts. Yeah, it was. That's a funny anime. Lots of fan service too, but it's funny, but nah, didn't hook me up. Higurashi When They Cry, yeah, that one. Did you get the happier end in Soul Hackers 2? No, I fucked up. I didn't complete one character's soul mine or something. I don't remember. Yeah, so I didn't get the happy end. The true ending in Soul Hackers 2, I didn't get it. Chainsaw Man, thanks. Steins Gate is good. I liked it. You know, I love the redhead girl. I had a crush on her. But then the games The games are like woke and shit, I don't know. But the anime is fine, I love it. Darker Than Black, I love that anime, I'm a huge fan of it. I love the detective. I love Yin, the girl. But I never saw the third and final season or something. I think there was a second or final season that I didn't see. Only watched the first season, I think. No, we were just talking about Red Zero Last Dragoon. You joined in late. Somebody already talked about that. I haven't seen it, but I'll probably watch it. Yeah, I'd love to see Chainsaw Man. I haven't seen the East anime. Is he good? Midori? What about Midori? Who's Midori? That's the name of a redhead in Steins Gate? Huge fan of Psycho-Pass. I was just saying it's one of my 3 favorite animes of all time. Like 10 minutes ago. Except the 3rd season. I didn't even complete it that season, you know. I just watched like 2 episodes and I was like, what the fuck is this? No. It's not bad, it was just fucking boring. Like, who are these characters? But the first 2 seasons of Psycho-Pass, amazing. Monte Cristo anime, I haven't seen it. OG, the section chief? Okay, never seen that one either. I like Agaretsuko. Is Agaretsuko still around? I fucking love that anime. I have a t-shirt. Some of you have seen that t-shirt, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Agaretsuko. I love it. I haven't watched it in a while. I probably missed 1 or 2 seasons, you know, Agaretsuko. Redhead girl in Steins Gate, Makise Kurisu. Yeah, that's the one I like. I am a big fan of Black Lagoon as well. Hellsing. Hellsing was fine. I liked the anime, I watched that. I didn't watch the OVA. I watched the regular Hellsing anime, which is like 12 episodes, you know. I think it's a good anime. Classic from the 2000s. Future Diary, I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes and I wasn't into it, you know, for some reason. Is Future Diary with the kids, you know? I don't remember. Blood the Last Vampire, good anime. I like that. Thanks again, Newcomb. You haven't watched me lately? You work 60 hours plus a week? Oh, that's wow, that's awesome. Keeping yourself busy. I don't think it's that bad. It is your 20th super chat on a live stream. Thanks for the support, Newcomb. Erased? I feel like I've seen that. Erased. Vampire D, good anime. We Blood the Last Vampire. Wait a second. Which one is that? I think I confused it with Blood Plus, you know. Blood the Last Vampire. Isn't this a movie? I've never seen this, man. This looks fucking awesome. I've never seen this one, man. This looks fucking awesome. And there's a game also. Thank you again, Yum Yum. I got it wrong. I thought of Blood Plus. That's a great anime. Not like wow, but it's great. I love it. I don't watch Naruto, man. Not into Naruto, so of course I haven't seen the spin-off. I only watched like 7 episodes of the original Naruto. No, couldn't get into it. Kino's Journey, never seen that. Oh, I've seen a lot of anime, of course. Ninja Scroll, I haven't seen that one. Demon Slayer? Yeah. My brother is a huge die-hard fan of Demon Slayer. That's his favorite anime. That and Naruto. I watched the first couple of seasons of Demon Slayer and it was good, but it wasn't like super great or anything. I don't see why that anime is so popular, man. It's not that great in my opinion. It's good though. I like the sister. It's a good anime, you know, but it's not like wow. Yum Yum is the biggest fan of Eric. I have a lot of die-hard fans. Are you excited for Luna remasters? Nope. Hong Luong. They are remasters. They aren't remakes. They are remasters. I'm not excited about any single fucking game nowadays. New games. I don't care about new games. Unless I prove that they don't have any woke bullshit. Read Delicious in Dungeon. Fucking next. I'm done. I'm leaving, guys. I had a blast today. This was a very fun Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. Take care. Love your families. I don't know what else to say. Say goodbye. Just take care. See you next time. Bye.